Hello, everyone. Hope this reaches you pretty well. Mr. Ramstad here. Today, we're going to be rolling out the way we're going to be taking attendance in distance learning, and that is through Real Life with Ramstads. And the first one that we're going to be doing today is about emailing. So we're going to go over some pro tips, and then you guys are actually going to get some time to practice writing good emails. So to get started, what are hashtag real life with Ramstad's all about? So as you know, we have to take attendance on a weekly basis. And instead of giving you guys assignments that you turn into me throughout the week, the way I'm going to be doing this is we're going to be doing little quick ungraded activities on Google Classroom, on Canvas, on over email, whichever, depending on the class that you're in. And you will basically watch the video that I send out on Monday or Tuesday of the week and reply to it, whether it be, like I said, through Classroom or through responding back to me by the end of the week. And that's how I track your attendance for the week to make sure that you're on track. Okay, so second bullet on here, why are we talking about email? Well, let me tell you folks, since we are no longer face-to-face for the time being, email is our primary mode of communication. I'm not going to be at school every day, therefore I'm not going to have access to my school phone. So if you want to get a hold of me, email is likely your best bet. So we're talking about email so that we can be professional and clear when we're communicating with one another. And it's also a really great life skill. These real talks with Mr. Ramstads that are going to be happening throughout this distant learning process are going to vary, but a lot of them are going to be about just skills that I think that you need to have, whether it be becoming better at job interviewing or finding a perfect job. Maybe we'll do one on goal setting. Maybe we'll even do one about how to pick out a good steak at the grocery store. Like, these are just general life things, whether they're ag related or career related, that I think that you should know no matter what class you're in with me. So today we're going to walk through what an effective email looks like, and it's broken down into 3 key parts: your greeting, your body, and your salutation. So over to the right, I have a nice email draft that would get 10 out of 10, 5-star email, and we're going to kind of dissect it here with the different parts of the email. So the first thing that you're going to do in an email, obviously, is have a subject line. So your subject line should be quick, to the point. Over here it says cow eye lab dissection question. And the greeting is in green. So, hi, Mr. Ramstad, or dear Mr. Ramstad, dear blank. You want to make sure that you use the correct title, okay? I'm not your friend. I am your teacher, so you address me as Mr. You address Mrs. Burkholz as Mrs. Burkholz. You do not address us by your first name. When you get to college, if you go to college, address them as professor or doctor or Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, whichever they prefer to go by. Those titles are super important, okay? And it builds credibility and professionalism. The body is the main part of the email, obviously. So the first thing is open with some small talk. This isn't necessarily like super important, but it kind of builds rapport and makes me more likely to respond to your email. So over here we have, I hope you are having a great day. It's hard to believe it's already 50 degrees outside. I hope you've been able to enjoy it. Boom. Pretty easy, makes it more personable, makes it more friendly and nice, instead of just opening up with your question or your request, okay? Then this is where you ease into your points or ask the question, giving as much specific information as you can. Okay, so the underlined text here in the body, I was emailing you today to ask a question about the cow anatomy assignment. I'm really struggling with the diagram on page 2 and have a lot going on at home right now between chores and my siblings. So there, this individual gave me some background as to their situation and what they're struggling with. That helps me understand what you're going through instead of me having to respond, asking specific questions, because that delays the time for me to get back to you. And then, boom, at the end, I close with an action item in bold. Could we potentially set up a Zoom meeting, or could I please get an extension so I can ensure I'm submitting my best work? If you could let me know at your earliest convenience, I would greatly appreciate it. So you tell me exactly what you need, and that helps me be better able to respond to you. If you are struggling with a concept, ask to set up a Zoom meeting with me, ask to set up a phone call with me, ask for whatever you need, and then I'm more likely to deliver it to you. I'm not a mind reader. So the clearer you are with me in these emails, the better it's going to be. Okay, and then obviously at the ending, you close off with your salutation, and that's an orange. So thank you, sincerely, something like that, and then your name. That tells me who you are and identifies it in case for some reason it doesn't pop up. Notice how nice this looks too. It's very clear and consistent. Obviously, you don't want to have the multicolors going on in your email. You want to be professional about it, but learning this is a really important life skill that'll help you no matter what you decide to do in your future. So these 2 emails are examples of not so good emails. These would make me not want to respond to you as a teacher, and I reserve the right to not respond to an email if something like this happens. So the first one on the left, no body text. It just, hi Joe, give me an extension on the assignment. It's hard, Bob. Okay, nothing is capitalized. It's isn't even apostrophe there. So I don't want to respond. You also didn't refer to be my Mr. Ramstad, so be professional, be clear, be poised, and I'm more likely to respond to you. The one on the right isn't as bad, but I still probably wouldn't want to reply to it because it's kind of snippy. So, Mr. Ramstad, the Cow-Eye Lab is really hard, or really confusing and not fun. Please email me back so I can get some help. And also, what's the missing thing on Skyward? I know I turned everything in, so please double check your papers ASAP. Okay, again, tells me what needs to happen, but maybe isn't the most tactful or polite about it. So make sure when we're responding to emails or when we're giving out emails, we're being professional, kind about it, okay? So just some general do's and don'ts. So you get an email looking like the one on the right. Do use correct grammar, spelling, etc. Do use manners like please and thank you. Do use a subject line that's to the point. And do not use texting language. Don't put emojis, don't put winky faces. None of that stuff belongs in an email. Do not refer to a teacher, professor, boss, etc. by their first name. Now, obviously, if you're emailing a classmate, that's different. But if you're emailing a teacher, you want to say Mr., Mrs., or Miss. And do not write everything in the subject line only. So have a clear subject line and then go into your body and main part of the email. So make sure to have a subject line though too. Okay. So every week, like I mentioned, we're going to be doing these little check-ins. And most weeks, it's not going to be something as formal as this. They're going to be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do some painting. Maybe we'll do some other type of activity at my apartment, and I'll just take videos of it and teach you guys a new skill. But you'll be asked to respond to these videos in some way, shape, or form. Maybe the question that I ask you on Google Classroom isn't even related to what the video is about. It might just be checking in to see how you're doing. But this is how I take attendance. So for this week, I'm asking that you follow the tips I just gave you to write me a nice email because I haven't seen many of you in a few weeks. So I want you to update me on how you're doing. Just casual, what's up? How are you doing? How are you hanging in there? How's this distance learning thing treating you so far? Then provide me any questions or concerns you have after reading the big initial email that I gave you. I'm not going to be super happy if you ask me a bunch of questions in your email to me right now that I answered in the initial email. And maybe something cool you did since I saw you last. So did you go out somewhere before the shelter in place was enacted? Did you cook something new or fancy for your friends or family? And all of this is due to me by Friday at 3:30. Again, this is not graded. Most of these will not be graded. They may be for extra credit at some point if they're really, really good, but I will not grade these. Your other assignments are what's going to be graded here. So, and if you do not have internet access, I will be in touch with you to come up with an alternative plan of action here. But hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this is a great life skill that you can utilize. I look forward to rolling out the rest of the Real Life with Mr. Ramstad's moving forward. So hang in there. We got this. It's going to be a great time in distance learning. Check you later.